Sometimes, a small Valentine's Day gift can reveal the most horrific murder Alexandria has ever witnessed. A cold-blooded crime planned for months by the killer, who carried it out as if he were playing a game. In 2005, in the Loran district of Alexandria, residents of a quiet building suddenly hear loud screams, sounds of smashing and confusion. Neighbors rush to the apartment of Madame Sausen and her daughter Mai, knocking. But there's no response. The screams suddenly die down, replaced by a heavy silence. They call the doorman, break down the door, and enter. And what they see inside is a living nightmare. Sausan and Mai are lying on the floor, covered in blood, dozens of stab wounds, tearing their bodies apart. As if the killer was venting all his rage on them, the forensic lab begins its examination. The apartment is upside down, as if someone was searching for something specific. By the window overlooking the garden, they find a bag thrown downstairs. The bag contained a blood-stained knife, a clothesline, gloves, an ice cap, and a plastic bag bearing the name of a poultry shop located far from the crime scene. The fingerprints on some of the items belonged to only one person. When the doorman was questioned, he remembered something. About 2 months ago, a strange young man came twice asking about Sausan and Mai. But as soon as he saw the doorman, he disappeared immediately, as if avoiding any confrontation. The police began collecting the fingerprints of everyone who had interacted with the victims, especially the employees at a cafe owned by Mai. This is when Mustafa Salem's name emerged. He was a 20-year-old student at the College of Education who had worked at the cafe and was fired after Mai accused him of theft and humiliated him in front of all the workers. But when they took his fingerprints, they discovered they were abnormal. His fingertips were deformed and covered in a sticky substance. After removing the substance, the surprise was that the fingerprints matched those at the crime scene. Mustafa collapsed and confessed. He said that theft wasn't the main goal. He wanted to take revenge on Mai and kill her and her mother for the humiliation he'd suffered. He planned the crime meticulously, preparing the knife, rope, gloves, and the ice cube his fiancée had brought him as a Valentine's Day gift. On the day he chose for the crime, he knew he had an alibi, a trip with his fiancée to Rashid. He waited for the doorman to leave the building, quickly went upstairs, and knocked on the door. As soon as Sausen opened the door, he stabbed her to death. Mai cried out to her mother's voice and tried to escape, but he caught up with her and stabbed her to death. Neighbors began banging on the door, so he quickly entered the bedroom, found 3,500 Egyptian pounds, took them, and jumped out the window, but forgot the bag containing all the tools that would expose him. What's even stranger is that the ice cube and gloves he used in the crime were Valentine's Day gifts from his fiancée, the gift that exposed the killer and revealed his story. Today, Mustafa is behind bars, but Alexandria still remembers Laurent's crime, a crime that began with an insult and ended with innocent blood.